Alright, how's it going, guys? Ghost Caliber here, and today I never thought I was actually going to be making this video. It's kind of sad, actually. So if you didn't know, Battle for Neighborville, basically dead. But I mean, you can still go play the game if you liked it that much, or if you just feel like playing it. But what I mean by dead, I mean by, like, no more updates. No more updates to the game. No, nothing. Unless it's like game breaking, they said. They said unless it's game breaking, they're not going to do any more updates to that. So I found a couple videos basically saying their theory on why, on what they think is the reason why EA and PopCap said that they're not putting any more updates into the game. After this, I'm going to put my reasoning in for why I think, but of course it's all speculation. I have a feeling, I haven't watched any of these, by the way, but anyway, roll the intro.
Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skull will shock your soul and seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons.
Alright, everyone. First video here. The theory why EA canceled Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville and possible solutions to save BFN. We're not going to watch the whole video. We're just going to listen to the first part, I think, because I kind of lied in the beginning. I did watch a few seconds of the video. I didn't watch the entire thing. So
hello, you may know Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville is canceling, but people are asking why did they cancel. I feel like that the price map actually explains what happened, and they were warning us. So first of all, the team was like good teamwork, because it says good teamwork right here. I believe that they were like, oh, this is good, we've come up with all this progress, and so they were happy about it, right? Then it just continues, just prizes. But then things started to get really weird, and so this kind of explains a little bit. Well, I don't know, but like still, just to me, just me, personally. And so there has been phone bones, which is
alright, so what he was basically going into was low-key, it was a conspiracy theory about why he thinks it failed. It was like, oh, the prize map tells you how it failed. It's like, and like, I don't really believe it, you know. It's just like, come on, man. There's like a, but I mean, it is smart how he's drawing conclusions, but it's just not me though. But next video we're gonna be showing in a few minutes. But I just gotta talk about that video, man. It was just weird. It was just, how do you? Yeah, you can see in the video that he's struggling to draw these conclusions. Which, I mean, wouldn't anyone really struggle drawing conclusions like that? They're out, like, they're wild. And also, don't make fun of me for making Roblox videos. I didn't know what to play. This is just, I had to pick something, so I chose to pick this. Because any other thing I can't really leave and come back to, or it will mess up my computer, and I'm not trying to corrupt files for making videos, you know. Well, next video, everyone.
Room. Oh yeah, finished the Foot Soldier, by the way. So they really pulled the plug on BFN. To tell you the truth, I'm not surprised that this has happened. If anything, I'm surprised that it's taken them this long. Kind of sat down a while ago and looked at the state of BFN, like, as a whole, and I asked the question back then. Thought to myself, this game is going nowhere. Whatever you think about the game, like whether you love it or hate it, it's going nowhere. Like, that's just all facts, no printer. So I wondered, like, how much longer are they going to keep on supporting this? And then over time, I started noticing that they were still supporting the game, but it was only the monetization side of things. It was just the microtransactions. You know, they're sticking so many more things in Rux. They're putting enterprise map stuff in Rux. They're doing bundles. They're doing this. They're doing that. It was kind of from that point, I was a little bit like, yeah, I see what's happening here. BFN has been going through a process that I like to call the squeeze. I've seen it happen with so many things, mainly video games. It's basically a process where a company, so in this case, I guess EA, look at one of their games and decide, you know what, this is on a road to nowhere. Pretty much gonna hit a dead end. I don't know how Max and Paddy aren't playing it. Am I gonna get this? Just about, Jesus. They decide that there really isn't much of a future in the game, but rather than pull the plug on it there and then, they go through a process pretty much of trying to milk every last penny they possibly can out of it, or squeeze, if you will, every last penny, pretty much until they decide that it's not worth their time or resources anymore, at which point, you know, they just pull the plug on it. But the thing about it is, once that process has started, it has started with a view to eventually cutting support. So I guarantee you, EA probably decided they wanted to pull the plug on BFM months ago, but instead of just pulling the plug there and then, they'll try and get as much money as they can out of it, and then they'll cut support. Now, I'm not in any way defending that. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. If anything, I would beg to differ, because all it's done is given BFN players this sort of false hope that the future is bright, and there are so many good things that are going to come to this game, and then suddenly from out of nowhere, like an RKO, you just cut them off like a dead limb. That's some scumbag shit. But at the same...
Alright, so I kind of agree with him. When I was playing the game, I started leaving at the point where it was like, every week we got this new bundle, and it was like, it's like every time I couldn't log on without a bundle being shoved down my throat, and it was like, come on, man, come on, I know what's going on here. I know what's going on here. It's like, so I just said no. I'm out. I'm not playing it anymore. And he's right. When I did see all the stuff coming into the game, I was kind of excited. I'm like, yeah, are we gonna get more stuff for the game? They are putting these bundles out, and it started to be like, no, you're not getting these bundles out. Like not bundles. I mean, like, no, you're not gonna get this new content. And since I didn't get any content, it's like I quit the game not in September, but in like August. I stopped in August. Like, yeah, no, I'm done with this game. It's just, I kept looking at it, and it made me sad. Just looking at it made me sad. But now it's time for my theory. Why I think that the game failed. And me personally, I got a few points. Point number one, it wasn't fun. I mean, it was fun, but not in the way Garden Warfare 2 was fun. It was fun because I can be in two different games and still have a different experience. Mainly because of how many characters were in there. The variance. That was the reason why I think a lot of people loved Garden Warfare 2. The variance. Because the variants basically just gave this game this certain type of variety that no other game could replicate, that made you want to stay. And in BFN, no variety there. It was just straight, alright, so you get these 23 base characters, and you get these retarded upgrades. There you go, have fun. Even though they had upgrades in Garden Warfare 2, I think 1, I've played 1, but I just haven't played it in a minute. I think 1, I know 2 had upgrades, so it's like, both of you had upgrades. Why are you just putting a bigger emphasis on the upgrades this time? It's like, whatever, man. And it was just sad, you know? Point number 2. The art style. I think the art style had a thing to do with it, at least for me. I mean, I just don't like the highly cartoony art style. I know Garden Warfare 2 had a somewhat cartoony art style, but it just wasn't as big as it is in Battle for Neighborville. Because I think the cartooniness just made it seem odd, And now we got to segue into the third point, which is the weird game mechanics they had. It's like, one, every character has a running animation instead of the just the pea shooter. Which to me, I was like, alright, cool, cool, now I can run into battle. But then it's like, you gotta look at this running animation. And it's ugly, man. It's disgusting. It's gross. And I'm talking about across the board, except for pea shooter, because they really just recycled the animation. And also, a few of the other game mechanics is that the upgrade system, they're not good upgrades, right? Because to be honest, I get killed. The people I get killed by the most are people who ditch the upgrades, who don't even use them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why add a system that barely anyone uses? And not only that, this leads on to my fourth point. Which was, jeez. Oh yeah, fourth point. The characters in the maps. So, we get these different abilities for the characters, right? Some of them are kind of cool, right? And then a few of them are just retarded. Like, one of them, it's like, you get to do this thing with the pea shooter where you get to hover in the air. You have to jump a little bit higher, but you gotta hover in the air. And to me, that's just stupid, because if I'm hovering in the air and a ZPG just comes at me, I'm dead. I am done. And then a few of the upgrades, like, here's the thing though, the upgrades in Battle for Neighborville, Garden Warfare 2, they made a difference, right? They made a real difference. They could turn a fight like that, man. And that's what I loved about Garden Warfare 2. It's that, like, hey, you know, a bean bomb actually did something. Now bean bombs in this game are just straight doo-doo butter and don't do much. And now the sunflower, they took out its sunflower that it would plant, its potted flower, and replaced it with, like, this dumb ability that, and what the ability does is that basically it's just another heal ability, right? And the thing I liked about the sunflowers is that I could put down a flower that heals and a flower that harms. It's the fact that I had that choice in the abilities. In this game, you get upgrades to the abilities instead of different abilities as a whole. Like, for example, for the bean bomb, for like the upgrades in this game, it would be like, oh yeah, the recharge time's slightly faster, and it's like, okay. But in Garden Warfare 2, you had one that would actually make a difference. Like, sure, it would take longer to explode, but at the same time, when it did explode, it did more damage and had a higher radius. And it's like, what? Man, that's cool. Even though there were some upgrades in Garden Warfare 2 that really did nothing, but at the same time, they at least looked cool. They had some sort of difference, and it wasn't just like an upgrade to the things we already had. They at least had some difference. Secondly, they tried to enter these variants, right, which is another part of the upgrades, where were these character upgrades, where they would be like a shield or Brainium Basher 9001, which, let's just be honest with ourselves, they straight up ruined the game. Let's be honest. I have 2 of them. Which one's like the arcane thing, where you can't even press one button, or else you'll ruin your insta kill thing, and it takes so long. It takes so long to charge up. Right now, I think I'm just going on a rant, but I'm just saying. And another thing, They didn't, which goes on to my fifth point. They never, I think this is my fifth or sixth point. They never talked. I'm just going to go with fifth. They never talked to the player base. With Garden Warfare 2, they talked to the player base. Like, oh, really, guys, you guys have these problems? All right, we'll fix them. All right, that's how you're supposed to do things. That's how you're supposed to run a game. That's how you're supposed to fix your game. Going straight to the players, seeing what they want. So you can make it better for them. So they can tell their friends, hey, man, play this game. This game's really fun. And they did that in Garden Warfare 2. That was amazing. In Battle for Neighborville, they didn't talk to you. You had to take guesses. Random guesses. And just pray that they listened. You would say something and you would have to straight on pray that they listened to you. Most of the time, would they listen? No, they would not. They would not listen to you. They wouldn't care about you. And that's one reason why the game failed, and I have a feeling that's the reason why it failed in the first place. It couldn't appease their players because they never talked to their players, and this eventually led to the downfall of the game. Now, am I upset? Final conclusion. Am I upset? Yes. Am I surprised? No. Another question, because there's a lot of things going on. There's like a petition to get like another update to the game, and there's a hashtag going around, save BFN. Do I think it can be saved? No. Do I want it to be saved? No. Because let's be real here. Even if, let's just say that the petition works, and they bring it back. They start making updates to the game. Do you really think they're gonna start talking to us now? I mean, they might. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but at the same time, the damage that they've done to the player base around that game has already been done. There's really no coming back from that. There's really no coming back from the damage they've already caused. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the people who've already said, like me, that it's like, dude, I'm done with this game. I'm not playing BFN anymore. This game has ruined it. Has ruined itself. It's not a good sequel. It's not a faithful sequel. It's not even that good. I have a feeling that 80s Action Hero would be better card in PvZ Heroes than in Battle for Naperville. Well, great. But anyway, guys, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all did, leave a like, share this out. I'm gonna be making another video tonight. Probably going over some more things. Probably not regarding this. Most likely not regarding this. But hopefully y'all enjoyed. Peace out.